Hello, I'm author Kevin J.N. Hughes, and I've been telling the story of my ghostly night visitor. And I noted already before that this was not sleep paralysis. It was different. If you want to see those story, but kind of similar. But if you want to see that, see what happened, watch the videos leading up to this that tell the whole story. But now I want to get to the end of the story. So this is many or several years after the events of that story. I was a teenager, and I had a best friend named Nathan or Nathaniel, or at least that's what I'm calling him for the sake of this video. Uh, and Nathan would come over to our house all the time and hang out. He was a little black boy, and I just we had great time. And I mentioned that he's black because it will be relevant to part of this story later. But um, I never told anyone about this figure other than my mom. I never told anyone about this figure that would come into my room when I was a little boy. And when we moved to this beautiful 1920s, very small but beautiful 1920s house. And oddly, even though it was a much older house, it was not haunted. This house must have been lived in by at least dozens of families, and must have experienced some people um, passing the end of their course of life in that home and different things. But it was not haunted that I know of. I never had any experiences there. Um, and it was a beautiful place to grow up. I had a wonderful bedroom that had this walk-in closet. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun of a house to live in as a little boy. Again, small house, but but large enough for our family at the time. Um, so I say all of that just to say that I never had any paranormal experiences in that house. Really, whatever it was that was bothering me in the house on 90th did not follow me to the second house that I lived in. But there was one day where something happened that kind of ends the saga of this story, I feel, and I believe that it was the same entity. So I'll just tell the story. So one night, I'm at the second house, and it's been years since any of this has happened. Nothing has happened for probably almost a decade, if not a decade, by this point in the story. And at this point, I'm a teenager. And I was sleeping one night, and I had this dream where in the dream, I shot up in bed and my bedroom door was open just like when I was a little kid, except now it was in my bedroom at the time, the bedroom in the home that I did most of my growing up in. Uh and so I was in that bedroom, but the door was open. I had shot awake and the door was open just like when I was a little kid. So it was like I was experiencing what I had been as a little kid, but now as a teenager. Um, and it was like I was experiencing it again in the new home, but this was a dream. Um, and my friend Nathan was standing in the doorway of my bedroom, and he said, "Kevin, let me in." And I said, "Nathan, my man, what are you talking about? Let me in. You're being weird." And he said, "I need you to let me in." And I said, "You're here, bro. What are you talking about?" And he said, "I need Kevin. I need you to let me in." And at this point, I felt something. I felt a change in the atmosphere. It's like it got 3 degrees colder, and I felt a knot in my stomach. And so I said, "No, I, I don't think so, bud. There's something wrong here." And all of a sudden, Nathan starts screaming, and it was bizarre because all of a sudden it was like he was wearing like a hood. and um and he started screaming at me, and his face turned like kind of ashen and then turned bright white and pale, and his eyes sank into his skull, and his hair was gone, and he looked very, very similar to the entity that I had seen growing up. And he said, and he just started screaming, "Let me in, let me in, let me in." And in the dream, started praying the Lord's Prayer, just Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Um, and when I did that, this thing that had appeared like Nathan, um, but now was uh or Nathaniel, but now was uh that figure again. It disappeared, and I bolted awake. I just shot awake, for real this time, and I was all sweaty, but I looked over, and my bedroom door was in fact open. There was nobody there. The hallway was empty, but my bedroom door was open just like it had been in the dream. So, um, but I prayed the Our Father, and the thing never came back. Thanks be to God. But yeah, so that's that's the saga of the pale man who used to come and visit me when I was a little kid. Thank you very much for watching. And again, share your ghost stories. Um, you can stitch with this video. You can email me at hugheskevin117@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear your ghost stories and share them here. I will also be sharing ghost stories from ghost story books. Just I love ghost stories, so you're going to hear all kinds of paranormal stuff. God bless.